Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale, continuing Ion's route. Bird, if you bite my headset one more goddamn time, I will pick you up and I will chuck you over this banister. You were being a big fat jerk right now. Don't make me do it. You make me yell at you. Stop it. You're being a jerk. I'm gonna grab your beak and I'm gonna keep it. Nasty bird. The big fat nasty bird. Don't you bite my headset. Anyway, Paris, the dual city. We just did chapter 4 last time. Its defining symbol, the Colosseum, was nestled at its heart, surrounded by 8 minor arenas, fitting for a city of warriors. Abby's incident had been a trigger. The dual limitations by the government had snuffed out Ferris's spirit, but not anymore. I've been waiting for this! The honor of the first arena is on your shoulders! Don't you dare lose! All the A rankers are participating. Even peeps from the security forces are showing up. It's practically an all-star competition. A fire had been rekindled. Paris hadn't just regained its prior liveliness. It was filled with even more enthusiasm and exuberance than before. Chatter and cheering rang out from every single arena that morning, and the excitement was only growing. Wow, look at all the people here. Yeah, I've never seen such a huge crowd before either. I took a quick look around. I can read. No, I can't. Smiles crammed every nook and cranny of my vision, and cheerful voices echoed out everywhere. The entire city bustled with activity. Some headed to spectate matches, others enjoyed the street food. As we walked down the passage in the inner ring, we let out gasps of wonder. You look like you're enjoying yourself, Speezy. I am. Working hard to prepare for the tournament was worth it. 2 months had passed in the blink of an eye after that meeting with the arena owners. Today was the day we'd all been waiting for, the Ferris Warrior Tournament. Over 200 contestants had applied, exceeding our expectations. Therefore, the morning was dedicated to preliminary rounds. At this very moment, every single minor arena was occupied by contestants who fiercely vied over spots on the knockout stage. Now then, if everything's according to schedule, he should arrive any time now. Luna and I scanned our surroundings in the arena we'd chosen as our meeting spot. The next moment, there was a small commotion, followed by a cheerful voice. I'm assuming it's Ginia because it's a cheerful voice. Because it's not Ion. And there you are! No, it's Clivis. There you are! Okay. I was like, it's not Ion if it's a cheerful voice. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that Ion can't have cheer in his voice, but you know it wouldn't. That's not how you would have described it. Ah, Your Highness! Weaving through the murmuring crowd was Prince Clivis, accompanied by guards. Passers-by whispered in surprise at his appearance here, of all places. Prince Clivis gave a small wave and smiled at me. You made it, Clivis. No, I mean, Your Highness.
You can talk to me casually, just like back when we were both a part of circus.
Oh, that'd be too impudent.
Remember what I said before? We're friends with something in common.
Clivis smiled meaningfully before prodding and indicating the area around his neck. Oh, right. Only a handful of people were aware of the emblem hidden beneath his clothes, and I was one of them. Realizing what he implied, I smiled wryly and went along with him, though I was still a little hesitant. Well then, I shall take you up on that. I'm happy to see you again, Clivis. Sorry for calling you out here out of the blue. You even agreed to appear as a guest during the award ceremony later.
No, it's no trouble at all. Even Father told me to hand out the award to the champion as royalty, since that'll make everyone remember this is a government event. And I'm not just attending as a prince. I also want to cheer him on in person.
All right. I prepared a special seat for you, so cheer for him as much as you can. After escorting our noble guest safely to the waiting room, Luna and I stopped to catch our breath. All right then, next on the list is the last meeting about the finals, then dealing with whatever problems have come up.
I'm up to support the announcer and cover for any possible mishaps. We won't have a moment's rest.
Luna seemed exhausted from her tight schedule, but didn't seem too concerned for herself. Instead, she peeked at my expression. Me aside, are you alright with this? With what? With missing out on Ian's matches. You haven't mentioned it, but you want to watch, don't you? Well, I was speechless for a moment. But when I gathered myself, I shook my head and gave her a wide smile. I can't say I don't, but I'm fine with the way things are. Just like how Ion's fighting in the arena, my battle is here backstage. My mission is to make sure the tournament runs smoothly. Plus, I trust him. I know he'll make it all the way to the finals and become the victor. And also, the thing is like, that's fine. I'm not going to stress him out by watching. Do his preliminary. I'll be there to watch him in the finals, and that's what really matters, you know? Especially, it's not like I'm just sitting at home doing nothing, not supporting my man. I'm back here doing all this backstage stuff, so like, he knows, you know? I gently patted Luna's head and recalled my conversation with him. And since I'm going to participate as a contestant, I cannot assist with the tasks on the day itself. My apologies. I wanted to help you as much as possible, but... Hey, don't be silly, Ion. Your task on the big day is to fight valiantly in front of the spectators, isn't it? I'm rooting for you. Best of luck. Best of luck! To your lover. That sounds like the weirdest thing to say. I mean, it's valid, but it just sounds weird. I'm rooting for you. Best of luck! Okay. Like, I don't know why it just sounds like, okay, yeah, best of luck anyway, bye. Like, I don't know why it just sounds wrong. Maybe it's just the way I read it. I don't know. I can't watch all your matches, though. In that case, what about the last match? Can you watch the finals? If your eyes are on me, I'll gain one additional reason why I must not lose. Okay, let's make a promise. I gingerly held up my pinky finger like he'd done once upon a time. I'll work doubly hard behind the scenes to keep everything on schedule, and then I'll definitely watch you in the finals. I will remain undefeated until then without fail, and dedicate my victory to you. Ion smiled warmly before slowly intertwining his pinky with mine. There's something kind of hot about that, like, I'll dedicate my win to you. You're like, hell yeah! Kind of sexy. I'm here for it. I shall make an oath to you right here, right now. It is a promise. Are you going to propose to me on the... You're going to wait till you win and then there's going to be an engagement. It's fine. But, like, could you imagine? He, like, wins and then, like, sir? Would that be too much? Would that be an inappropriate time? I don't know. I love it and hate it at the same time. You're like, I could get behind it, but also, like, I could see where it's like, no. Save that for later, like a nice private moment, you know? Really, I don't know which way. I feel I would be like, save it. Don't you bite my headset, Bird. You making me mad. Making me mad. Stop it. You brat. Don't be cute now. He's a brat face. But you know what I mean? I wouldn't want it to be a big public spectacle, but I can understand where you might want a big public. You know what I mean? I mean, it just depends. Anyway, I need to keep that promise, so I gotta find time at all costs. It was just like during our circus shows. My support behind the scenes was gonna help Ion shine on stage. I was sure of it. Determined, I resumed my tasks as one of the tournament's organizers. And we don't need to spend a lot of time on, like, little organizational tasks. You know what I'm saying? Like, several hours passed. Good. All the preliminaries in the minor arenas were finished, and the stage had moved to the Central Coliseum. Sometime later, I made it! I barely finished my work in time, and finally I ran over to the staff seats. Easy, over here! I waved at Luna, who'd been a step ahead of me. Just as I headed to my seat... Oh! A screech of metal against metal, louder than ever before, rang out. A clatter followed as something fell to the ground. For a single moment, the arena was totally silent. My eyes widened, and I whipped my head around to face the stage. That settles it! We have a winner! Did I seriously miss the entire thing? The yell of the announcer, who doubled as a commentator, opened the floodgates. Thunderous cheering swallowed the audience whole. I feel like that's kind of like, I mean, we could have run and like, okay, so then we watched the match. I arrived just in time for Ion to get on the stage, but like, or we missed, we're not saying the winner of the tournament, we mean of this particular match in the finals, I hope. Because otherwise that's weird. Ugh. Like we all expected, the man who came out victorious from the fierce exchange of blows is our tournament favorite. Oh. Oh, security. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Contestant Ion, a soldier of the Royal Guard. Showing off prowess true to his reputation, he secured his ticket to the finals. Oh, okay. I was like, did we seriously miss watching him win? That was stupid. You spent all that time and for building this up for this. Okay. It's just we missed his win. We just saw the last win to the final. Okay, well we haven't seen the finals. All right. Phew. He did it! I breathed a sigh of relief as I looked at Ion, despite being fully confident in him. Congratulations! A comment, if you will, about the finals coming right up. A comment? I intend to persevere. Ion's faltering voice was broadcast by the voice amplifier. Hearing it, I smiled. At the same time, I finally found a moment to sit down next to Luna. Ion's amazing. He really made it all the way to the finals. Yeah, I only got to watch the last few seconds, so I'm a bit relieved. I can't wait for the grand finals. I mean, he's facing... Luna's excitement was off the charts, but before she could finish her sentence... Pardon me, may I take this seat next to you? A gentle voice called out to me. Our eyes widened slightly. You're, from the third arena, yes? Thank you very much for all your help during our circus show, sir. And for the invaluable aid you offered for the warrior tournament. It was nothing. Your proposal was profitable for us as well as the city, after all. Smiling, he stroked his white beard before turning his gaze to the stage. I must say it was a most spectacular match. It was astounding for him to parry the onslaught of two swords with a single spear. Ian was awesome. He dodged everything easily and elegantly. It was like he was dancing. Due to his origins in the underground arena, and I apologize for my rudeness, I assumed his battle style revolved around brute force. But I couldn't take my eyes off him. The way he fought was mesmerizing. It was nothing like what I'd expected, in a good way. I was watching the matches with the other arena owners until a little while ago, and I cannot overstate our delight. Thank you. My heart swelled as if I'd been the one receiving the praise, and I smiled gratefully. But Ion winning should upset the owners who were against the Reformation, yes? I asked the question tentatively, a little confused. He shook his head. No, some of them voiced their grievances at first, of course. But in the end, both pro and anti-Reformation arena owners showered his heroic fight with praise, eyes shining like children. Our consensus is that anyone would give him recognition after witnessing such a warrior in battle. That means... We may claim otherwise, but all of us arena owners love watching a gladiator doing what they do best at the end of the day. It was wonderful, wonderful news. He bowed, and I saw him off as he returned to his designated seat. I pressed a hand against my chest. I was over the moon. He'd come all the way here to inform us about the situation with the other arena owners. It was evidence that the arena owners showed collective support for the path Ion had chosen, without a doubt. See, I told you everyone would approve if it was Ion. Luna declared this triumphantly, and I replied with an elated smile. Business manager, right here, this one. 30 minutes later, after a short intermission, the grand finals would begin at any moment. I waited with bated breath as I conversed with Luna. Right. Hey, Luna? What about the winner of the other bracket? Who's Ion up against? Huh? You didn't check the standings? No, I was running all over the place. I only arrived just in time to see the last few seconds of the match earlier. I inclined my head and asked her again. For some unknown reason, Luna's eyes twinkled with mischief. She smiled and let out a muffled giggle. Luna? Sorry, it's actually... The moment she opened her mouth, however... Is it, do you think now it's Ginia because there's question marks? Someone's saying, ladies and gentlemen! This, my friends, is the moment you've all been waiting for, but it doesn't say announcer. It's of course. Yeah, so I'm assuming it was Ginia that was, because we asked him to come and do something, and we have question marks over the voice. So I'm assuming it was supposed to be Ginia. But anyway, a familiar voice sounded, and the crowd went wild at the announcer's prompting. Spectators surrounding us, who'd been chatting merrily, all turned as one, like they'd rehearsed the move. Their gazes convened on the stage. A flashy man stood upon it prominently like a beacon, noticeable even from this distance. It has to be Ginia. Nobody else is that flashy. Look at him wearing his circus uniform. It was none other than the former circus leader, the Ginia we all knew and loved. Yes, the Ginia we all know and love. Not knew and loved like past tense. Know and love, present and future tense.
The stage is set for our grand finale, boys and girls. Now tell me, are you ready?
Ginia's sonorous voice rang out clearly. The response was louder cheering than ever before. I even felt a tinge of nostalgia as I listened to him. That was when Luna tugged on my sleeve.
Is it true that you were the one who called Ginia here?
Yep, among all the people I know, no one can top him when it comes to hyping up a crowd. I decided to be selectively silent about the fact that Ginia had half used this event as an excuse to slack off from his paperwork. Ginia fanned the audience's zeal, waving his hand theatrically. I mean, look at him. The man hyped me up for the original fucking game the second I will never stop talking about that. The second I saw cover art, this bitch. Can't have him. I have waited till now, till this game for this man. It was a crime. First of all, I want to be like, it's a crime I had to wait this long. It will always be a crime that you didn't let me date him in the first game, because there was no excuse for that. You had the perfect backstory that you could have worked with, and we could have, oh my god, and dragged that out. It would have been great. Okay? But it's also a crime that we had to wait this long for the fan disc to get localized. All I'm saying. And we didn't really have to wait that long. Like, to be fair, we did not have to wait that long. There are other games where it's like, we have the game and then 2 years later we might get the fan disc, okay? This one was like, bam, instant. Okay? This one and Verche, they're like, fan disc coming out almost instantaneously. So like, I'm just saying. The turnaround time was quick, but not quick enough, motherfuckers! Not quick enough! There are things I can't forgive. 1, that ending in 7 Scarlet. Fuck you, I'm still mad about it. 2, how long you made me wait to date Ginia. The fact that I couldn't date him in the first game, that's really the problem, alright? I will hold that grudge till I die. I will be on my deathbed, and those will be the things I remember. Look at him. Look at him. Anyway. He can fan my zeal any day. Alright. 3 hours later. You can't put him in a route and not. I'm just. Okay.
And now, emerging from the East Gate is a legendary gladiator who once earned himself the moniker of Grim Reaper in this city. Having left his dark past behind him, this man currently walks a brilliant path as a defender of the people. To guard the seat of the 7th Arena owner, a memento of his former friend Avi, he fights for friendship, himself, and Ferris itself. Both the personal royal guard of Prince Calivus and the strongest gladiator in Theris' history, Ion enters the arena.
Aw, he has a little soft face. Ginia, he's going overboard with the exaggerations.
And on the opposing side stands some other dude. Huh, and that guy can fight. The only thing I remember about him are his speeches about the prince. He's just a nerd, bruh.
Oh my god, you're not talking about Aleste, are you? Oh my god, seriously? That is all, like...
I can hear your skepticism already, but fear not. Have you ever asked why he's the head of the security forces? Did his money do the talking? No. Is it his noble status? Never! The answer, my friends, is that he takes pride in his title as the strongest soldier of the Arthur security forces.
Oh my fucking god. I did not see this coming. When Luna's like, you mean you didn't see the standings? And I'm like, who is she talking about, though? It's like, it's the only person I can think. I'm like, it's not like you dragged Avi out of prison. That's not... Oh my god. Oh My God! I'm supposed to root for Ion? I mean, okay, Ion, sure, you win it, but like, but I can't believe my other husband is in it. I, I, listen. I can't even say it was a crime that we didn't get to date Aleste. He was like a side character. And like, listen, we all have side character loves. You can't put a bespectacled side character without me falling in love with them. Oliver and Piovera, it's the only reason I'm going to the Visconti. Gil, you seem great and all, but I'm here for Oliver. You gave me, though, this game gave me an Aleste ending. I wasn't even, I was asking for one deep in my heart, but I never expected one. So I was like, I'm not going to ask for one because I just want a Ginny route because that was a crime. He should have had a route in the first game. We can't deny that, okay? There's no, you can't talk, he's a main character. And you didn't have a route? You knew Aleste wasn't going to get one, okay? So the fact that you gave an Aleste an ending is awesome. Great. And now you're doing that. Are you just... Somebody who played this when I literally in the last part was like, I don't know, Ion's route feels a little boring right now. I was like, just wait, because this is all I needed. What the fuck? This is the greatest fucking reveal in history. I can't fucking focus. My face hurts. This is hilarious. I can't wait for this.
He fought countless challengers during his school days, and his flawless record of wins earned him the name Bespectacled Mad Dog. And the king's advisor, the prince's loyal dog, the head of the security forces, a noble. Why do you have so many titles, Aleste?
Ginnia's husband. Bespectacled Mad Dog, a less nickname during his school days. Rumor has it he never lost a fight. Now he's Calibus's loyal dog. And this just also makes, like, the bromance and the I'm just gonna ship them together romance between Aleste and Ginny works so much better. Because, like, Ginny is his beautiful girlfriend over here. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect. You think Aleste is a big fat fucking nerd, and he will literally take you out. And I love it. I love it. Okay. Hey, what's with that introduction? Keep your personal vendettas out of this. She's just like, blinking. Blink, 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 blink. It's just the constant dot, dot, dots. It's Aleste?
Surprised, right? I thought my heart would jump out of my chest when I found out.
My heart did, and I'm gonna die. But I don't think I saw his name when I looked at the participants list. Did I?
Ginny apparently squeezed him in at the last minute before the tournament. He did it in secret, saying Aleste was a surprise guest. Fierce has a grudge or two against Arthur. How about you get a public beating as a representative and we help them vent? Or so Ginny has said. Sounds pretty crazy, but those were his exact words.
And yet, Aleste has made it this far. Is he the devil himself? I just love the fact that Ginny is like, let them beat up my husband. Adorable. Again, I know we're in Ion's route, but I'm in the middle of the Ginny and Aleste man sandwich, and I'm sitting here like, I'm gonna need my boys not to fight like this, but it's kind of adorable, and I love it. Well, the beating part was likely a joke, so that aside, well, I could kind of deduce Ginny's intentions. He probably wanted Farah's citizens to change their opinion about the security forces who didn't have the best reputation here. Making Aleste, their leader, demonstrate his fighting abilities on stage was an effective method to achieve that. I mean, well, yeah, because you see Aleste and you're like, what's with this fucking accountant nerd? You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, and you're watching him kick ass, and then you're like, wow, he just got hotter somehow. And I don't think men fighting is hot, but this is hot now. I don't know what's happening here. Since Aleste had chosen to go along with the plan, he must have thought it had merit, too. Like, I really want another fan disc for this. I need a fan disc for the fan disc because I need more Aleste now. I'm gonna need to dive deep in the sheets with him, okay? Because, Jesus, you just keep adding more stuff that's like, excuse me? I loved him before, but you're just making him so much more interesting and better and like, holy fuck, hello?
surprised when I saw that Aleste made it all the way to the finals, though.
Is Aleste really that strong?
Strong enough to make me stare open mouth. He doesn't leave any openings for his opponent at all.
This is... You almost feel bad rooting for one side or the other here. They're both your friends. Well, one's your boyfriend and the other... One's her boyfriend, one's my boyfriend, but whatever.
I've watched many gladiators as an arena receptionist, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone who can compare.
And Luna's impressed? I cannot wait for this.
Here's a little something about these two. Ion is a member of the Royal Guard, a department of the security forces. On the other hand, Aleste is the head of the security forces. In other words, the boss and his subordinate are about to face off. Will the boss nip the underling's dreams in the bud, or will the subordinate overthrow his superior? Keep your eyes peeled to find out.
This is like the fucking battle of the century. You could not, if you were doing a tournament, have any better outcome than this. Like, holy shit. Honestly, you know Ion's gonna win. It's his route. And, like, but then you're like, Aleste isn't gonna throw the fight, is he? You know? With Ginya's voice reverberating in the background, the showdown between the most unexpected pair possible was set in motion. We watched with bated breath. You can do this, Ion! Hey! Hey! It's okay, she can root for Ion. Listen! Tifalia, i.e. the actual main character, she can root for Ion, that's her boyfriend. But Spacey, me, is rooting for frickin' Aleste. He's my boyfriend. Although, to be fair, you know he's not going to win because he's got another job and he doesn't want to be the arena owner. So, like... So I know you're going to lose, sweetie! Even if you throw the fight, it's cool, but I still love you. This is amazing. God, I love this. This is amazing. It went from like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, to this. Why were you holding this? You could, like, oh my God. I mean, obviously you couldn't do it till the end, but like, shit, you spent so much time on talking about the Reformation and all this shit. And like, okay, you're making it a little boring. To like, then you get to hear it. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is so exciting. Again, we could have just cut out a little bit of that in the beginning. Cut it down a little bit, and then add a little more fluffy moments in the beginning, and then you get to this, and it's just fucking great! Redeemed. Redeemed route. Cheers showered down on the pair. Ion and Aleste slowly stepped forward to the center of the arena. I cannot believe this. Seriously, Ginia has some nerve to embellish things like that. I believe it is just like him to do so. Though I do feel conflicted, the excitement of the audience is genuine. A fair point. Well then, let us answer those cheers with our greatest efforts. And also, you just look at Ion, this big, bulky gladiator, and our twinky little... And I just... Okay. The pair faced each other and drew their weapons. The spectators sucked in a sharp breath all at once. We better get a fucking CG of this. Oh god, here it is. Look at how beautiful Ion looks right now. He totally looks chill, like they're at a fucking beach party. Ion assumed a stance low to the ground as he held his giant spear with a length that rivaled his own height. Oh! Why does Aleste look so fucking beautiful, too? Again, he looks like he's totally just chilling, about to pick you up in his convertible to take you out to dinner. Good God, what is happening? Aleste stood at the ready in a medium-height stance, the one with the least openings, armed with his regulation longsword. Look at how... And I love the way they did this. Like, split down the middle, but, like, then their weapons are, like, crossing over in the middle. This is amazing. This is a good job. And, like, I'm sorry. Aleste, how could you... We didn't even... Look at him. In this fucking CG, I'm gonna die. Why are you so ridiculously beautiful? How the fuck... How the fuck, sir? I know this is supposed to be about Ion, and Ion looks really great in this CG. I think this is my favorite. This is my favorite CG in Ion's route, because Ion looks beautiful. He looks so chill and beautiful and at peace, and it's just a lovely little look on his face. And then you get to share it with fucking Aleste. And that just adds like 3 stars to this 5-star fucking CG. I'm sorry. This is my favorite. Oh, I mean, the Genius CG on his own is my favorite. But like, I mean, for Ion's route, this is my favorite. Oh, dear God. Are you certain about using a sword? A spear would offer more advantage in terms of reach. That only applies in normal battle. A spear with a blunted end and a rounded tip for contests is nothing but dead weight. At close quarters, you're defenseless. So I'll toss that question right back at you. Are you sure you want to use a spear? This is going to be like, the fight has been going on, it's been 4 hours. Can somebody win already? Alest edged forward steadily, then halted abruptly. He was barely skimming the outskirts of Ion's reach. Seeing Alest's perfect control over the distance, Ion's vigilant gaze grew warier. And now then, this is the last fight, the grand finale that marks the end of the Fairest Warrior tournament. And may the battle... Ginia's voice was the trigger. Begin! Two loud thuds echoed as both took a firm step, moving at once. No, leave the CG up. Don't take that away from us. Ion pressed forward. Alest stepped back. With his opponent no longer in reach, Ion took a second step forward and fluidly thrust his spear, which Alest parried. Tim and Ronald were so fucking excited about this battle, they fucked up that sentence, is all I'm saying. It's not because they were drunk. They were like, this is so exciting. I'm like shaking. This is amazing. I can't breathe. Oh, yeah, we brought the CG back. Is this going to be the CG that keeps on giving in this one, where it was like in Ginnia's, where like it goes away and it comes back and I go, Ginnia's was, again, the best use of a flashback fucking ever in a game. Like, we have to flash back and we see that CG and we flash back. You know what? If you're going to flash back to that moment 5,000 times, I'm okay with that. But this is what I want. Yes, just leave it up. Don't take it away. But if you take it away, give it back. God damn, I love this one. I hate to say it, though. My eyes are drawn to Alest. I cannot stop staring at him. Like, I feel bad for Ion because he looks so good in this CG, but like, I read and my eyes just want to go after 2 words and just stare at Alest's beautiful face. God, they've given us a gift by giving us an ending for him, and now look, he got more CGs in this game so far than he got in the whole other one. Did he have like 1 or 2 maybe in the first one? I know he had at least 1, but like, he got an ending that was kind of romantic-y. It was a little like open for romance, and now this? I just can't. Maybe I'm simple, but I'm winning here, okay? The Alest love is winning enough, is all I'm saying. They knew. They're like, there's some bitches out there that love this glasses man. We're gonna give you some shit. Thank you! I just need crumbs. I can survive on the crumbs. I will fucking suck them out of the carpet like a fucking Hoover vacuum, okay? Just throw the crumbs. I'll find them. Damn, I love it. The sword scraped the spear's haft? Supposed to be shaft? As Alest lunged. With a flick of his wrist at the end of his swing, Alest was poised to strike. Suddenly, Alest received a kick to his sword hand as a reward for his ploy, and, with a click of his tongue, leapt backwards. The pair had only clashed for mere seconds, but during the fierce exchange they'd swapped offense and defense at a dizzying pace. Delayed, deafening cheering shook the arena. Oh, we keep going back to this. Every time it leaves, I get a little sad, and then it comes back, and I get 10 times more excited. Like, I'm more excited about the 3rd time seeing this CG than I was the first time, guys. This part's gonna take 6 hours, because I can't stop fawning. I'm gonna die. To think you try to rob me of my weapon right away. You weren't going easy on me at all, Ion. Frankly, I underestimated you. I did not expect you to dodge my attack just now. I have to admit that I'm out of shape from my work as a civil official, but I've finished my rehabilitation on the road to the semifinals. Like, I love that. I'm out of shape. Unless you've made it this fucking far. I want to kind of... Sir, we'll be the judge of that. I'm going to need you to take your shirt off. We've seen how out of shape Ginia is. Okay. We can see how in shape Ion is. But I'm going to need you. We will judge what shape you're in. So I'm going to need the shirt to come off, so that we can properly examine the shape you're in, okay? All right? I think we can all agree that Aless does not get to make that decision for himself. That's a decision we will make. So get on it, game. Get his shirt off. I'm saying. For God fucking sakes. We already had Ginny a fucking shirtless. If they gave me Aless shirtless, I might be fucking dead. I don't think we'd make it. I wouldn't make it. I don't know if I could handle it. I can't even handle imagining it. Jesus. The title's mine, Ion. Prince Calivus is among the audience. I cannot put up a pathetic display before his eyes. And the sentiment is mutual. I cannot lose here. After all. As he spoke, Ion stepped forward, his spear colliding with the less sword as the latter intercepted. Metal screeched against metal. Both pushed their weapons forward with zeal, neither willing to back off. A small smile curled Ion's lips. See, Alest would absolutely win if we were in love with him. The power of our love. I wish to show off in front of my beloved. Ion seemed like the last person who'd utter such words, and Alest's eyes widened. I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. Ion, you can do it! Because you really should be the owner of the arena, let's be real. But like, Alest, I still love you. Alest, take off your shirt so we can judge if you're really out of shape. A faint cheer echoed out in the distance, and the spear's flurry of attacks only grew in intensity. Though Alest parried round after round magnificently, he was slowly edging backwards. At least it's not going to be like Ion kicked his ass. He's just, oh my god, it's a nail biter, we weren't sure. We know for a fact there's no way Ion is not going to win. But I love the fact that they put Alest in there and like, yeah, I mean, logically it makes sense. If he's in charge of the security forces, like, obviously, they're like, did you think he was just a pencil pusher that got okay, yeah, that's true. You had to, logical sense, but never thought of it, never occurred. I can't believe I get to see a battle of this level. I know, right? The next best thing is when Alest and Ginny make out. Now, I knew the extent of Ion's powers. I honestly hadn't expected Alest to be such a powerhouse. She's getting a little turned on, and I can't blame her. Earlier, Luna had compared Ion's battle to a dance. Ion's sweeping swing was evaded by a jump from Alest. Using his momentum, Alest swung his blade down, but Ion rolled aside before springing up and striking with his spear. Their match didn't seem like a duel. Rather, it was more like a coordinated dance. Oh, right. I've seen this before. Ion's battle style wasn't that of the Grim Reaper, whose weapon's purpose was to deliver crushing defeat. It was that of the circus member Ion, who fought to deliver joy and entertainment. And look, we get a flashback. See, you can see what shape Ion's in, okay? He's wearing a top, but that thing's so fucking skin tight, it might as well not be on. That's all I'm saying. So we know what shape he's in. We need to be able... I think we need to see the shape that Alest doesn't think he's in. That's all I'm saying. Current Ion was someone who embodied the best of both worlds. He was a combination of Ion the gladiator and Ion the performer who bloomed flowers of happiness during our shows. It's his martial arts performance. Sweep the leg! Not only were Luna and I mesmerized, the entire audience was captivated. Ion! Cheering so loud that it even smothered the voices right next to me, I shouted at the top of my lungs. You got this! She's screaming Ion like we used to scream Emilio. Emilio! You can't scream Ion! As you can scream Emilio. It doesn't reverberate off the back of your throat the same way. I miss Pio Fiore. Without a moment's delay, Ion mustered all his strength and lashed out with his spear. Ah! Ooh. Sunlight glinted off Alest's sword as it was flung high into the air. Oh no. And match! The clatter of the sword falling to the ground was oddly loud amid the audience silence. Today's battles were fought with the prides of warriors on the line. And now, we have one man left standing at the top of all 224 fighters.
He's the Grim. No, he's the hero of Ferris, our dearest dual city. The Royal Guard Ion is our grand champion.
Genia's raised voice pierced the heavens, reverberating throughout the Colosseum. I mean, you knew Ion was going to win, but there's a part of me that feels a little bad for Aleste. But, you know what I mean? At the same time, you know, Aleste's like, good job, man. And I have faith that if Aleste hadn't been stuck behind desk duty for so long, he probably could have kicked Ion's ass, and that's kind of terrifying. I'm just saying. Wait, did we switch to Ion? I missed that because the CG was in my mind and I looked away. Anyway, the Warrior Tournament took Ferris by storm, stirring up an unprecedented level of excitement. On the evening of its conclusion, the citizens of Ferris took to the streets with a fervor that refused to die, or others at any rate, but sometimes it's narrator. The entire city was overcome with celebration, shouts and cheers taking over the night. The friends of the two finalists held a party of their own inside Cheers. Okay, no, we're just narrator.
Phew! Nothing beats a glass of liquor after a day of hard work. Eat your fill, everybody. Allie's gonna foot the bill for all of us with his prize money from second place.
We've reserved this place exclusively for you guys today, so I'd be overjoyed if you contribute to our sales while you're at it. Ginny had toasted in celebration as Leon rushed about busily. At one table, a certain man bawled, glasses all fogged up. Really, Aleste, you're not taking this well? Aleste, what's wrong? Second place is still a standing to be proud of. You really don't have to be so sad. Oh, he's not sad because he lost. He's sad because he got second place in front of Prince Calivis. That's exactly what it is. It has something to do... Oh my god.
No, that's not it, Luna. Aleste's crying because, well...
I wanted to be the one to receive the champion's trophy from my prince! It was the golden opportunity to prove my undying loyalty under the watchful eyes of the citizens! I was this close.
I've told you. You work with Prince Calivis and talk to him all the time.
That's the thing. It's not like I was so close to the prince. No. You work and talk with this boy constantly, but this 1 second of... Oh my god. I love him. He's such a fucking weirdo.
Well, I saw how hard you strived, Aleste. I thought you were really cool.
My prince! Like a saintly mother with endless compassion, Calivis placated Aleste. This poor child. Moved to his very core, tears flowed from Aleste's eyes like waterfalls. Got some serious problems. Oh, I love him. And just asking, but was Aleste always like this? Or is he just drunk?
He's the same as ever, but it's even worse than usual. Oh well, we're lucky we've got this place to ourselves. And the goodwill he fought hard for in his matches would plummet through the earth if people saw his miserable state after all.
He seems pretty wasted.
Is it alright to leave him like this? Totally! He's completely fine, my dear. No problem at all. Because it's funny.
Also, Ginny will take care of him, don't worry. Ginny might act like he gives no fucks about Aleste, but he will take care of his boyfriend. It'll be fine. Our boyfriend. There was a shred of doubt in Luna's mind, but she nodded dutifully before looking around. By the way, Ginia, do you happen to know where Spacey went? Oh, are we in a back room getting it on? Now that you mention it, I don't see Ion around either. Oh my god, we're in a back alley. I was kidding, but...
Oh, those two. Don't worry, they'll come back eventually.
Luna tilted her head quizzically. Ginia gave her a meaningful grin.
Men have one big moment in their life that they can't afford to mess up. And for Ion, that moment's happening right now.
Men have one big moment, and that's proposing? Is that really Ginia? Because I don't know if that's really true, but I love that you think that, sweetie. The city's so bright. I turned around just after we left the bounds of the city. The giant outer walls filled my vision. Though it was already the dead of night, the ardor of the city was still going strong. The tenacious craze was so overwhelming that I could even feel the heat from where I stood. I shouldn't be surprised. My heart's still pounding, too. It hasn't calmed down even after all this time. That was just how thrilling and memorable the finals had been. When I glanced next to me, the man who entered my vision was the star of that very match. A battle on a grand stage of that scale naturally netted Ion praise and applause everywhere we went in the city. In the end, we'd headed outside to find some space to relax together. Spacey, is something the matter? Nothing. I just thought that the tournament today was really impressive. Indeed. It would not be far-fetched to say that it was successful as an event as well. Yeah, I only got to see the finals, but I could feel it all over the city. Everyone enjoyed the event to the fullest, whether it was the matches or the stalls. When I stood on the stage, I similarly felt numerous gazes and heard countless cheers. I hope that I was able to express my gratitude through my battles, even if just a little. I'm sure everyone knew. Third arena owner actually showed up after the semifinals. He told me that in the end, all the arena owners cheered you on, no matter what faction they belonged to. I've no doubt that everyone will support you taking on the role of the 7th arena owner, too. I see. His words were slow and filled with emotion. As I listened, I turned my gaze to the city. In my opinion, the matches that went on today truly held a completely different meaning from all the duels up till now. There were victors and losers, but nothing was unjustly snatched from the loser. No matter which one you ended up as, everyone could smile at the end and shake hands. What are you doing, Bird? Simmer down. Indeed, and this is perhaps the first time I have felt such unadulterated happiness after a battle. You're half climbing down my leg because you want pets, but you're gonna bite me. Ion spoke in a subdued voice before quietly looking down at his hands. What I saw after each match were not the bloodied hands of the loser, but warm hands that radiated power and vitality. Being able to shake such hands and exchange a smile with my opponent, it brought me a happiness I cannot even describe. I even felt as if I enjoyed my time exchanging blows inside the arena. That might be a first as well, especially with Aleste. He whispered, I never knew such battles existed. The raw emotion in those words that slipped out was clear, and I sucked in a sharp breath. Seeing that smile on Ion's face, I said, Congrats! Congrats! You were stunning. Tell that man he was stunning and magnificent. Don't be like, yeah, congrats. Congrats is so lame. I mean, congrats is fine, but when paired with congrats or you were stunning, of course you're going to say you were stunning. I don't care if that's the wrong fucking answer. We're choosing it. It is the right answer, but okay. You were stunning. Who doesn't want to be told they're stunning once in a while? Look at him blush! We made it blush! Worth it. I've watched you fight countless times against fiends and during incidents, but you were the most handsome today, Ion. You were the most dashing man in the world. I don't know, my eyes were really distracted by Aleste, but that's a me thing. His hands had grasped victory time and time again in relentless battles. When I gently placed mine over them, I could almost feel the lingering warmth of the battle and the heated blood in his veins. I'm really happy that such a man is my partner. Seriously, you're so... I chuckled slightly at Ion's response before sticking out my pinky. Looks like you managed to keep your promise again, champion. Of course. I will never go back on my vows to you. There will not be a second time. We chatted, grins on our faces, before we slowly resumed walking. For a while, I relished the refreshing breeze outside the city that soothed my hot face and ruffled my hair. That was when a thought occurred to me. I halted my gait and turned to face Ion. Oh, that reminds me. You mentioned you wanted to talk about something, didn't you? Don't bite me. You're not being nice. You want petty, Scott. I want to grab you and squeeze you. Not in a bad way. I just want to squeeze you because you're so fluffy. During our party at Cheers, you said you wanted to step outside for a bit. Yes, that is correct. Ian came to a stop, his feet together, and looked intently into my eyes. And there is something I wish to tell you. Moonlight faintly lit a soft, tender expression. Please, allow me to apologize first. I am sorry for making you wait for so long. Wait? A little lost, I tilted my head. Ion looked at me affectionately, a small smile on his face. The night before we left the capital, you said something to me. No matter how long it took, you wanted me to decide for myself. Uh, I want you to decide if you want to marry me for yourself. Doesn't matter how long that may take. Don't go proposing to me because I'm waiting for it or because everyone's telling you to. What I want to hear the most is your very own decision. The bittersweet taste I'd had in my mouth at that moment seemed to have been revived, and I swallowed audibly. Back then, I lacked proper understanding about the topic of marriage and what I wanted to do with my life. I had only one wish, to lead a simple and peaceful life with you. And that brought more than enough happiness to me, and I had not thought as far as marriage, which is funny because a simple and peaceful life with the person you love the most in the world could absolutely not be marriage, or it could be. So, you're like, oh, yeah, sure, makes sense. Neither had I given a moment to ponder what else I wanted to dedicate my life to. Ion paused as he turned to face Ferris. When I came to this city, I learned about the situation here, and as we, together, thought about what I could do, I finally realized it. Even if my past in this city is a painful one, Ferris is still my home. And so, I wish to dedicate my own life to changing this city for the better, step by step. I'm certain that this is what I want to do with my life. He wasn't doing this under someone else's direction, nor was he being forced into this mission. This was a wish born from the bottom of his heart, a choice he truly made for himself. Eyes filled with determination to carve out his own unique path met mine. And there is one more thing I wish to dedicate the rest of my life to, with equal passion. Along with those words, Ion took one step forward and gently leaned in until I felt his breath tickle my cheeks. I want to make you happy. I want to spend every second of my life protecting the smile on your face. It's so adorable. His words were faltering and a little clumsy. They were also sincere and direct. His marriage proposal was unmistakably weaved together by Ion himself. I don't think even that could have been any kind of, but sure, we'll take it as a marriage proposal if that's what you want to pretend it is. I mean, that's what the game's telling you it is, but it's and that's technically, I guess, in some other games what they do. It's you're like, I don't even care if you're proposing to me or not. That's romantic and beautiful and made me giggle. Oh, I could cry a little. But I would have been like, wait, are you asking me? I need you to be a little more literal because I'm stupid. So hearing it made my heart clench and my throat quivered as if ready to shout to the entire world. I I I I will say this again. I am truly sorry for making you wait so long. I mean, that's true. He was like, I'm sorry I waited so long, but I will do everything in my power to make you smile for the rest of my life. That's a proposal. I'm glad she's smarter than me. I ask that you accept my feelings, and this is the decision I have made after considering things with everything I had. So we definitely need another fan disc because we gotta have the weddings now. I'm just saying! Ion knelt down and, almost like a pious offering, held out an adorable box in which a golden ring sat. Okay, now this is a proposal! Though it wasn't ornate, it shimmered like a star under the moonlight, almost like Ion himself. No. Would you please marry me? Ion anxiously awaited my response. This is so adorable, I'm gonna cry. Yes. I replied with the biggest smile possible. I want to find happiness with you too, Ion. I want to bloom smiles on your face. I'll dedicate my life, my future, to that wish. Oh! Look, it's not really a CG, but it's a little interlude with the little putting the ring. That's adorable. Stop it. Yes, let us find happiness together. I gently held out my hand. Ion placed his hand beneath mine, offering his warm support. His hand, which had secured countless victories in battle, shook slightly, perhaps out of nervousness. That makes it so much cuter, stop it. I let out a tiny giggle as I watched the ring slide onto my finger. Beautiful. Hearing my whisper, he smiled. Though it is somewhat embarrassing to admit, I am not very knowledgeable about such matters. When I learned that it is tradition to present a ring during a proposal, I went to Ginia for advice. Probably a good idea. I can't believe that I'm saying going to Ginia for advice on anything is a good idea, but good idea. Oh, that's not true. Tease Ginia, but he does know some shit. Not about working, but about like proposals and rings and being pretty. Yes. But in the end, I wanted to choose this ring myself, no matter what. If it is to your liking, I would be overjoyed. Of course I like it. It shines gently like you do, Ion. It's wonderful. Also, it's the ring he saw, thought of you, and picked out for you. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, I got the biggest, most ostentatious ring so that people know I got money or whatever. No, 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 no. It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about the, you know what, when I saw this, it made me think of you. Or, you know what, it reminded me of something. Like, it brings about a memory, a stirring, or something in their heart that reminds them of you and makes them feel like it's the perfect ring to symbolize the love you share. And that's the ring they gave. Stop it, I'm going to die. It's so adorable. Oh my god, we're getting a cute, adorable kiss CG. Come on. He tugged softly on our intertwined hands and placed a tender kiss on my left ring finger. Gotta be getting some kind of a CG, it's just white right now. Ion then planted too many kisses to count on each of my hands, and our kiss was much more heated and passionate than usual. Really? Really, game? Come on! It is a rather curious feeling. The word ring only represented the darkest moments of my life until now. Also very symbolic and true and adorable. I made that comparison earlier. And yet the ring that decorates your hand is nothing of the sort. Yeah, the intaglio ring was something that shackled and bound others. This ring is something that connects our hearts instead. I'm sure some people would say it shackles and binds you, but then they really shouldn't be married, and that's horrible. Under the guidance of the ring's soft gleam, the distance between us gradually melted away. I love you, bird, but I do not want you rubbing against my headset because you're gonna chew the ear pads. Oh, there we go. There's our intense kiss. Stop it. You're gonna get thrown downstairs, bird. Look at that beautiful kiss. Finally, there was nothing that separated us. The heat of Ion's lips, the feel of the ring he had given me on my finger. I slowly shut my eyes and relished in these two sensations. It wasn't his usual yearning kiss. Our lips only met gently. It was a very tender yet passionate kiss that sealed our vow. I could feel the promise in his kiss, the promise of a future filled with everlasting happiness. Ion tilted his head away to verbalize that resolve, and I leaned in, filling my entire vision with his handsome face. Love it. Allow me to make this vow. Your life from this moment forth shall be mine. I swear that I will make you happy without fail. Between our kisses was the verbal vow that bound my future to the person I loved most. Allow me to do the same. Please give your life to me. I'll make you happy too. I swear upon this ring. Beneath the veil of moonlight, Chloris bloomed around us. Beneath the veil of moonlight, Chloris bloomed around us, giving a splash of color to the canvas of night. How beautiful! Against this enchanting backdrop, I declared the same words as Ion as I brushed my lips against his. Oh, and then we both say, I love you, together. Oh. Okay, so like I know I complained in the very beginning of his route, but like the fighting a Lest and then all of it, that just brought it all back. All right. 8 out of 10. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Do we get an after? Do we get an after scene? It better not be the wedding. Because if we get a wedding after scene, it means we don't get a second fan disc with the weddings. I just want a second fan disc with weddings and more or less. It all begun with the Ferris Purge operation, with the Arthier security forces, led by Aleste, shut down the underground arena. The collapse of the underground arena after Avi had attempted to revive it had been next. Finally, a large-scale warrior tournament had been held to improve the city just a short while ago. Several earth-shattering incidents happened within the short span of a few years, shaking Ferris's belief of strength as justice. The series of events forced the citizens of Ferris to ask themselves one question: what is true strength? Of course, my opinion was that there was no clear answer to that query. Are we still me? I assume we're me because we don't have the things around it. After all, it was likely each individual had a different answer that they'd only arrive at after plenty of time and experience. So at the end of the day, even though 2 months had passed since the tournament, Ferris didn't exactly undergo dramatic change instantly. The limits on matches imposed by the government were lifted, and duels were held in every arena once again. Oh, Jesus. Like always, the culture of wild enthusiasm and gambling over duels remained. If I had to point out one big change, it would probably be the ban on duels for resolving disputes. See? Well, that's all I'm saying. Have fun, gamble, do it for sport, but not as a sense of justice. In other words, matches that involved the winner taking from the loser were no more. As for how the system was going to improve going forward, we would decide while observing the effects of the current enacted reforms. We don't have to rush. One small step at a time is enough. Drastically changing something that had remained constant for a millennium was a challenge. However, we'd already taken the first step, and I was sure things would only get better. After all, it was our job to lead ourselves to a brighter future. That brought us to today. Today would symbolize this change. It served as the inauguration ceremony for Ion, the champion of the tournament and soon-to-be 7th arena owner. At the same time... I know! Oh, no! No! Why am I so disappointed about this? Because then that means no fan disc for these moments.
Please welcome the bride and groom. A grand applause, if you please.
No, my disappointment is palpable. I don't want a wedding now. I want a fan disc with weddings so that I can get more or less. Damn it. It was also our wedding. So mad. So mad. Really hoping it wasn't going to be this way. Oh, but it's a cute fucking CG, though. Thunderous applause and congratulatory words filled the arena. Like, look at that. How adorable. Oh, we are wearing a short little dress. Look at our knee sticking out. Look at us showing knee. The blessings thrown out were completely different from the arena's usual cheers. They almost seemed out of place. But the zeal that engulfed the venue was filled with a zest fitting for Ferris. Congrats, Spacey! Spacey, congratulations! Thanks, everyone! In preparation for today, Luna had come, of course, and Spiria had rushed here from the capital. They waved from the special seats we prepared and blessed us, wearing big smiles. Even at this distance, the blessings of my precious family reached my ears loud and clear. I have to say that it's quite wonderful to receive the blessings of such a great number of people. Yeah, but I imagined a slightly more humble ceremony, to be honest. I spoke to Ion in a hushed voice, and he replied with a wry smile of his own. And those were my intentions at first as well. Then Ginny and Brady went wild, perhaps because I kept them waiting too long. And by the time I realized it had turned into this. Maybe our mistake was scheduling it the same day as Ion's inauguration day, which had been planned first. As a result, guests from both ceremonies united, and we ended up with a grand wedding. Aless was supposed to be the voice of reason, but instead he pushed things forward enthusiastically. In fact, there were even food stalls and street vendors. At this point, I didn't even know what kind of ceremony we were holding. Okay, I'm just saying. Now that we've gotten this, if I don't get a wedding with every single other fucking main character, I'm gonna be pissed. Pissed. You set me up now. If you just done proposals and didn't give me weddings, I'd be like, second fan disc, 4 weddings. And more or less. Perfect. Okay. Then we could have weddings with everyone. We could get a wedding even with Ginny and Leon, okay? Like, right? Because we set the... And then you get, like, a nice actual fucking route with, like... You could have your Calivis route, like, he grows up, and then you have his route. You have an Alest route. You could get married to them, too. Great. You could have had a whole fucking wedding game. You Could have been a whole fucking game about weddings, okay? Listen, you don't have to play it if you didn't want to, but now that you've set this up, every one of our other main characters, every fucking route, better have a goddamn wedding in it. You set it up, game. I'll be so mad. 0 out of 10 won't recommend this game. 12 out of 10 recommend for Aleste alone. 12 out of 10 recommend for that Ginia CG alone. So, like, you know, Aleste or Ginia, pick a lane. 12 out of 10 for them. But I will give this game a 0 out of 10 if we don't get weddings with everyone now. You set it up. My clown motherfucking boyfriend better fucking tell me he loves me. Because I didn't even get an I love you in his route. So he better marry my ass too, is all I'm saying. I will drag that little clown bitch down to hell if he doesn't fucking marry. I'm just saying, you set it up, game, so I'm not accepting no more weddings. Everybody. All of them. Oh. To be fair, I don't think there was ever going to be a second fan disc or whatever, but my heart could have hoped, you know? You could have set up hope, like, well, if we don't have weddings in this one, then we could get it, but fine. You know, it actually feels more like a festival at this point. Indeed, but I suppose that is just like Ferris. I think it's probably unprecedented to hold a wedding at an arena, though.
Oh, what's wrong with that? Precedents exist to be broken, after all. I mean, he's the tournament champion, and starting today, he's also the 7th arena owner. No one's complaining.
It's also Ferris. It makes perfect sense for them. I scanned the venue with an exasperated smile and found many familiar faces. We're going to pan to our friends. Nothing beats Ferris's meat. The climate here's perfect for rearing the best beef.
No, Ferris's signature's gotta be their beer. They don't boast the most sales and consumption out of the major 5 for nothing.
Yep, there's still plenty left, so eat up and drink up. On, bro? Oh, is he chewing? And he come back, you chew! Speak after you swallow. Have your table manners devolved along with your brain during the short while we haven't seen each other? If I don't get to marry this salty fucking bitch, I'm gonna be so mad.
Ion, you better make Spacey happy, you hear me? If you dare make her cry, I'll shove a beer bottle down your throat.
What a noisy bunch. Hey, is this supposed to be a wedding? Is this sort of behavior alright?
I mean, if the couple's happy, it should be fine. Those two probably like the noise and festivities.
Back to our CG. They haven't changed at all, huh? I watched the circus members in their seats making a happy fuss. Did you notice Pashali is not there? Is he dead in this route? Like, what the fuck? The people gathered here were our former circus teammates who traveled great distances to be present today. Are they just going to gloss over the fact that he's there? Filio, whom continued his journey, had literally flown all the way here. Zephora, who was now Kultura's sentinel, had somehow squeezed the time into his busy schedule by working in his every spare moment. Mishalia was apparently unwell, so he hadn't been able to attend. Oh, I don't like that. They're like, they mentioned at least him, like, he's unwell, but, like, we know he was unwell, but in everything else, he was like, apparently he's magically fine. Shh. I know how unrealistic that is. Could we just have him be magically fine? Like, oh, he's doing okay somehow, and we don't have to answer those questions. We all just want him to be magically fine. Okay? Just magically fine. So saying, like, he's unwell is like, oh no. It still kind of sucks. Instead, he'd sent a heartfelt letter and a bouquet. We're truly a lucky couple. We're blessed with friends who would gather from all over the world just to celebrate our union. Yeah, you're right. We received lots of letters from the people who weren't able to make it, too. Well, there was one slightly unexpected sender, though. Avi? I directed my gaze to the pile of letters on the table and one specific envelope that was plain and unpretentious. It was a letter addressed to us. Aleste had only delivered it a short while earlier. Sender was a rather surprising person who was currently serving a long sentence in jail. Very unexpected! Avi was the only one that came to mind, so obvious. Yo, Ion! And Spacey, was it? Rumor has it you became the 7th arena owner, eh? I've been wondering what kind of guy'd fill my shoes. I remember his voice, but it was kind of like Vilio, but it was in that range. So anyway, you of all people didn't even make it into my list. Feels like fate, or a sick joke. Piece of advice from your predecessor. Even if it doesn't look like it, being an arena owner is pretty tough work, you know? Goody two-shoes like you's got to keep your guard up so you don't get gobbled up by all those wolves in an instant. P.S. There's this bookshelf in the arena owner's office. Just saying, but it leads to a secret door and a secret room. Should have left notes about the area, arena management, list of the companies I had backroom deals with. The works, basically. Yeah, but you're like, you're talking about shady shit. Ian's not gonna do that. They're just useless paper in my hands, so I guess you can have them. Good luck trying to make those things useful. You'll need it. P.P.S. One last thing. Have a happy marriage, I guess. That was so sweet and cunty at the same time. He's like, have a happy marriage. Like, you know, he's like mad and bitter about being in jail, but he's like, yeah, but I mean, like, congrats on your marriage, I guess. Even though, like, that was like the underlying, he's like trying to be bitter and angry because, like, we were friends and you backstabbed me, but, like, still want you to be happy, man. But, like, shut up, I didn't say that. But, like, the rest of it, like, you're like, could have just not. Like, underlying it, there's like a nicety, you know, like Ion is still his friend, so it's like, I do want to write him a letter, but I'm gonna make it as cunty as possible, just so he doesn't get the wrong fucking idea and think I care, even though I absolutely do care, but I don't want him to know that. Fuck him. Like, oh my god. Ugh. It would have been formatted like a ransom note on the back of a scrap of a calendar page. Ion gazed serenely at it with warm eyes. Likely he, more than anyone else, knew how significant this letter was. No matter how the writer had tried to feign sloppiness and apathy, the genuine blessings of a friend seeped out in every word. Exactly, see? Kinda hard to tell whether Abby's letter is sarcastic or snide, right? It's neither. I know it does not come off this way, but these words are Abby's way of giving his best wishes. Perhaps the two had a kind of secret language I didn't quite get. Have you not ever met Ginia and Aleste and how they talk to each other and yet they're basically married? I was utterly clueless. However, Ion's face lit up with joy and I felt his smiles spread to me. I know that Abby will remain in prison for a significant period. If he atones for his sins and is discharged one day, I wish to ask for his cooperation. I want to ask him whether he's willing to work with me once more for the good of Ferris. He might scoff with the words, "Are you an idiot?" Ow! Bad bird! Do not nice! That was very mean. You bit very hard. That is not nice. Or perhaps he might shout with ire, "You think that's possible after all that's happened?" But somewhere in my heart, I had a tiny sense of conviction he would definitely cave to our insistence in the end. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. After all, Abby had only gone down the wrong path because his past haunted him. It didn't mean that all his wishes for this city had been mistaken. Let me help you when that day comes around. My wish, after all, is to realize the future together with you. We shared a smile, and I looked up at the sky. That's leaving the door open for a Fandisk route, okay? It's not as good as a wedding one, but whatever. As if blessing the rekindled light that illuminated Ferris, which had been somber and dispirited, dazzling sunlight rained down on us. The brilliant light that painted the arena in bright, warm hues almost seemed like a curtain decorating the road to our future. Hey, Ion, what do you want to do after this? You? Question spilled out as I stared up at the clear, boundless blue sky. Ion chuckled slightly before making a firm declaration. Not loud, everyone's here. A kiss comes first. Pardon? I have not enjoyed the sight of you in a wedding dress to the fullest, either. But it'll look better on the floor. I will admire you from head to toe first. I will hold you tight until I am tired, and I will kiss you endlessly. That's a romantic way of putting that you're going to throw that dress on the goddamn floor and have your way with me, but sure, sir. Then, as all married couples do, woo, Ion, sir! Wait, stop right there, Ion! No, that's not what I'm talking about! Hmm? Oh, I see. My word choice of tired is improper. I could never tire of embracing you, as such a situation is not possible to begin. Not that either! Seeing Ion spout such words, in all seriousness, I puffed out my cheek. You have made this man wait. You could barely kiss him. So this man has been waiting for a while for you to put out. So, I'm just saying, I don't know how she resisted. As someone who is very much don't touch me in real life, in an Otome setting, absolute whore. All I'm saying. Different. It is different. I was asking you about what you want to do in the more distant future. That, a lot. Like improving the orphanage, tinkering with the match rules. We had a little perfect place to end it when they were looking up at the sky, and then they they do this a lot. Oh, we're still going. Oh, we're still going. It's like you wrap it up. And that was part of our plan from the start. He deflected the topic with ease before looking at me with narrowed eyes. It's like they're setting up so much, but it's like it doesn't really matter. You're not going to have another game, and if you do, then you could do that. I don't know. Are you implying you do not wish to do what I said? Do you not wish to exchange intimate hugs in private? Intimate hugs! A nice way of phrasing it. Well, or cradle each other's cheeks as we kiss as if we never want to part. This is funny, but I do. I'm glad. That is a relief. Ian grinned like a child. I didn't have it in me to be peeved. I could only harden my resolve with a face of resignation. Jeez. The wry smile I sighed, and Ion's mirthful gaze landed on me. And then, I am happy. His words were simple, short, but to Ion, words that meant more than anything in the world. Yeah, I'm happy too. I replied with the same brevity and filled my response with the same amount of emotion. Words, however, simply could not capture the song in my thrumming heart. I leaned in, our lips meeting to convey the rest. Everyone dreamed and fantasized about their future. It was taken for granted. To wish, to hope, those were something natural the most, but in truth, having the luxury to entrust your wish to an uncertain future was very blissful. My beloved had once been a man who couldn't hope for a future, shackled by invisible chains and a heavy past. And now, hearing him speak of his hopes and dreams brought me unparalleled joy. I wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to realizing as many of my dearest husband's wishes as possible. My dream was to surround his life with bouquets of happiness. My hope was to receive plenty of bouquets of happiness from him in turn. This was only the beginning. We would continue to walk hand in hand down the path we decided together, the path to our radiant future. I was going to say, if it doesn't fucking end here, I swear to God. I'm just saying, they like to drag the ends out, and it's not like, oh, we've got a little after story, and we're doing a little, okay. And then it's like, we have this beautiful little monologue, and then there's like a thing, and then you're like, okay, and then we do this beautiful little monologue that kind of keeps going. Martial arts demonstration has been, oh, the interlude, okay. We're not, you'll need to play all the extra stories in the interlude section. We're going to do those at the end of the game, after we finish everybody's routes. I think it's just a little bit easier. So, but yeah, but they like to kind of drag out the ending, like, oh, here's the end. But then here's the end. But then actually, and it's like, oh my God. Oh, right. You're the game that does the bullshit. See, okay. -12 out of 10 for the fact that this doesn't do the CGs the way I want. 2, 4, okay. That one only has 1, and everybody else is... The third one is 4. We're gonna mess this up, and I hate it so much. 4 and then 5, the last one's up. This one only has 2. But you know what I mean? Like, they drag it on, you're like, okay. It's not that I'm, like, we got to the, like, I was enjoying the last couple parts, but then you get to the end and you're like, okay, you're just dragging it on now, and there's no point to it. We had the wedding, we saw the scenarios, okay, let it go. They seem to do that a lot. I think they did that in Ginnia's route too, or whatever. You're like, okay, wrap it up now. It's like they had 3 great ways to end it, but they didn't know what to do, so they just put them all together and did all 3, and you're like... He is really beautiful in his CGs. Her face is so dumb in this one. It's cute, but it's like the little goofy, like, oh my God. You're protecting me. And it's so goofy and ridiculous. I love it. But it's so funny. But he is beautiful in all the CGs, let's be real. There's not much difference between these ones. Oh, whoops. Oh, there was only 4 in that one. I hate that so much. You know how much I hate that. This is still my favorite. But, like, because, like, look at this! You know I want to end on this CG. You know I want this one to be the end one, but I can't do that for me. I can't do it just for me. I can't be like, this is the end CG so I can stare at a list as much as I fucking want to. Okay? Because I know, you know? Oh, there you go. They did show this as part of it. That's cute. Aww. I'm surprised they didn't have a version of that, like CG with like the chloris kind of blooming around the side. You know what I mean? But you know, it's this like she's all like goofy and embarrassed, but like look at how fucking sultry his face is in this. Like, hello. There you go. That's better. All of her face is like making awkward expressions. It's like you need a cute one like this. An awkward expression. Yeah, that like I think that's my only disappointment. Like that one is like kind of an awkward blushing. That one's awkward. This is the only one where she's making like a cute expression in the wedding CG. All the other ones is like awkward, sweating. Like she's making awkward faces in it, which kind of ruins it a little bit. Like this one's cute though. Like she's at least making a cute face. Like, you know. We'll leave it at this one, even though you know I want to do that last one, but I won't. I won't satisfy myself. But anyway, we'll do the interlude stuff at the end of the game. We'll see whose route I decide to start next time. To be fair, it'll probably be Pashalia because I feel like we had to do Zephora's before Rades and everything like that. We had to do these 3 first. We had to do Ion, Pashalia, and Zephora, I believe, in the beginning. And then you did Rades, and then you did Vilios. And it does say, like, Vilios is more like a grand finale. Although it says it might be best to finish the game with this route. But we're going to do the interlude stuff, so we're not really finishing the game with that route, but, like, whatever. But yeah, so maybe we'll do Pashalia next. I just want to save Zephora for a little bit. I need to savor it. Although, listen, in the very beginning of this, I was like, I'm not feeling Ion's route so much. They fucking turned it around. They really did. But I do feel like there was a lot in the very beginning where it was like, we're giving you a lot of the backstory of what's going on. It's like, you didn't need that much of it. Give us more fluff, a little less substance. Okay? Because there was enough. You could have given us enough just to be like, this is what's going on, and we'll mix it in with some fluff, but it was all a lot of the Reformation and talking about this, and let's talk about this, and let's do the plot. And it's like, yeah, but like, where's my sprinkles some more fluff in, you know? So they could have toned that down a little bit, added a few more like fluffy moments, or whatever, cute moments, funny moments, whatever, just to kind of make it a little less 2 hours in, me being like, I'm a little bored. I don't know if I'm enjoying this as much as I want to, you know? But then the last couple of parts have been like, fucking great. So like, turned it around. All right. So like, my like, I don't know. Is it just me? Questioning out of 10 is like, no, 10 out of 10. Especially because you made a list fighting that bat, and that was fucking worth it. Unexpected, the adorableness that we churned out at the end, like, okay, you got me in the second half, so bravo. But anyway, this is a really long part because the after scene went on very, 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 very long, so I won't keep it going any longer than that. So, like I said, don't know who we're gonna do next. Probably Pashalia, let's be real. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.